Hi guys! I know I haven't uploaded in a long time, just to get that out of the way. I've had mock exams for my A levels, I know, and they were tough. I had like a 2 hour exam for one subject, hour and a quarter. Then I had to have one cut into two because our school decided to have a snow day because it snowed really badly where I live, and it was just everywhere. And I do feel like they went a little bit overboard by having 2 days off school. I did plan to video on that day, but I didn't get around to it because I was too busy keeping warm because it was so cold. Like but I did go sledging and stuff, but my feet felt like they were going to fall off. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Hi guys. So as some of you may or may not know, I am a huge fan of musicals. I don't I haven't seen any professional musicals. I want to, really want to, but I know a lot about musicals, especially ones that are like ones that were made on DVDs and things, and also ones that I've been in, and amateur ones. I see amateur ones more than I do professional ones because I've never been to the West End because I don't have that kind of money. So I thought I'd do a musical theatre tag today, and I found this. I'll put the link to the blog in the description, but it's called The English Rose from Manchester, and it's called the musical theatre tag. And I got the idea to do a tag after I was busy rehearsing for another show I'm going to be in. So a few months ago, I might have told you about I was in High School Musical on stage as Martha Cox, which was amazing. It was so exciting, so cool, absolutely loved it. And now the next show I'm going to be doing is Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which is awesome. And honestly, it's one of the first musicals I saw, like it's one of the first ones I remember seeing like a proper musical, not just a Disney one. I do count them, but the first musical that wasn't just a Disney musical, because it's Andrew Lloyd Webber, and who doesn't love Andrew Lloyd Webber? Anyway, so the first question is, what was the first musical you ever saw? So the first musical I ever saw was, let's see if I'll get it right, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Not the original one, because that one's really old. I'm not that old. But I saw the one with Donny Osmond. I think that's his name. I can't remember. I feel so bad. I should have looked this up. But the one with Donny Osmond and the one with Richard Attenborough in it and Joan Collins. I actually saw it on video back when video players were a thing. And I remember, like, we also had a tape of it, and we'd always play the tape on this little tape player we had, because when I was a bit younger, when I was like a little sproggle, we had a CD player that had the little bit where you put the CD, then there was a tape player in the side, and then there was the radio dial at the side, and a little thing that stuck up so you could get a radio signal. And you'd put the little tape in, and you'd hear all the lovely songs and things, and oh, it's just such a really good musical for me because I just remember so much about it. And because of the family I come from, I've been raised as a Christian my whole life. It was a really cool spin on a story from the Bible, in my opinion. And I think it's a really, really nice one that just, it's suitable for all ages. Like the whole family just, it's just something that never gets old in my books. What was your favourite musical growing up? Right. So this might sound cheesy, but when I was growing up, my favourite musical was definitely Mary Poppins, like with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, and oh my goodness, I just loved it so much. I was obsessed with it. I loved the songs, I loved the characters, I loved the fact that there was the whole walking through paintings and stuff. I loved how imaginary and exciting it was. And I even, for a little bit of history for you here, when I was in year 3, I sang Feed the Birds in a little talent competition thing that we had at my school. And I got second place because there was a band that had drums and stuff, and they were all year sixes, and the year sixes were so much better than us and stuff. But I'd always been really obsessed with Mary Poppins, and I don't think I have an actual valuable photo, but I did dress up as Mary Poppins for Sports Relief about 2 years ago. It was a really simple costume. I just had a white shirt with long sleeves and a little collar, a little bow tie, an old skirt that I'd turned into a cape. It was nothing fancy. I cannot do those arts and crafts and things. I just cut it down the middle and then just attached it round where my throat was, and then wore a little black skirt, like a school skirt. I wasn't like those girls who have the ones like above the knee. I had it like over the knee, and then a pair of black tights and black shoes, and then held an umbrella. And I didn't have a hat. I hated that I didn't have a hat. It was so annoying. But yeah, Mary Poppins for you. Were you ever in a musical? Oh, this would take way too long. So we'll just talk about the first musical I was ever in, which was when I was 7. I think I did mention this briefly in another video, but it was called Pickwick, and it's based on the book The Pickwickian Papers by Charles Dickens. I know he made lots of things, like he did Oliver Twist and stuff, and Great Expectations. That was the first ever musical I was in, and I loved it. But I think we'll talk about the first 2 big roles I ever had, which were The Sound of Music, definitely, when I played Brigitte with my best friend, Hazel, who I've talked about her channel so many times on here. I think it's like, I'm basically her biggest fan. Hazel's World. I might leave a link in the description if yeah, I'll probably do that because I'm so weird. But yeah, we both played Brigitte, and we had the little sailor dresses and everything, and it was really cute. I do have a photo. I do have a photo. Hold on. So, ignore the terribleness of my hair, but that one, right there, in the middle, that's me! Oh my gosh, I was such a baby face. But anyway, that was the first big role I ever had in a musical. And my second one, which is probably one of my favourites, was definitely when I played Little Cosette in Les Miserables School Edition with the youth group I've been with for 4 years now. Yeah, I've been with them since I was 11, I know. And I just loved it so much. I don't have a picture of that, but yeah, I was Little Cosette. I had short hair. I would have to mess it up every second before I went on stage because my hair's the kind of hair that doesn't stay in one place. Like, you curl it, it drops. I know. So I would be messing it up just before I walked on stage. But yeah, that was probably the second most amazing thing that ever happened to me when I was on stage. It was my first time with the society, and I still have so many amazing memories from that show. It has a very special place in my heart. It really does. Moving on. If you could be any female character in any musical, who would you be and why? Should we go with the obvious choice? It's between 2, but it would either be Belle from Beauty and the Beast musical, the one on stage. I like Emma Watson. Shut up. Or Mary Poppins, definitely, because Mary Poppins. And I'm really looking forward to the remake, which is coming out, I think it's this year. Don't take me on that, but apparently she's being played by Emily Blunt. I know! She was so good in Into the Woods. Anyway, getting off topic. Which male character? That's a funny one. I don't know. Which male character would I want to be? Oh, this is a tough one. Right. You see, these things are really good, usually. Like, and then I'm just here like, I don't know what to say. I'll just say Oliver from Oliver. The exclamation mark one. Oliver. Because the character has really good songs, really good scenes, and has an amazing voice, and is such a cute little spunky little potato. Anyway, on from that weird one. Favorite musical song to sing in the shower. Now, I don't often sing in the shower, but I do sometimes sing in the shower. Sometimes I sing in the bath as well. Some people might find that weird, but whatever. It's either Close Every Door to Me. I don't know why I like singing that in the shower. Do not ask me why. From Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. Or One Day More. I love Les Mis. Don't judge me. Who is your favourite theatre actress? This is a little hard because all the actresses I've ever seen on stage pretty much have all been amateur, but I do look up to them massively. Even though this actress wasn't in a musical. Oh no, I shouldn't. Nah. I think I'm gonna skip that question because there's still lots of other questions, because I've never seen anything that's been on the West End kind of musical spectrum. Anyway, favourite film adaptation of a musical? Les Mis, hands down, best adaptation of a musical ever. Like, me and my dad went to see it when it first came out, and at the end of the film, everyone in the cinema was crying. Not just one person, not just me and my dad being weirdos. Everyone was crying and clapping and cheering. It was an emotional roller coaster for me. I really liked it. I liked the Madame Thénardier. Helena Bonham Carter was perfect, especially with Sacha Baron Cohen, because, hello, Hugh Jackman. Oh, when he sang Bring Him Home, I was just, the tears, all the tears. And on my own, that was very emotional for me. Especially when they all came out at the end with the flags and the singing, and everyone who died came back again. Oh my goodness. Definitely, in my opinion, best film adaptation of a musical ever. You can argue with me on that. You can go ahead and argue with me on that. But hands down, in my opinion, that is the best one. Okay. What do you think is the most underrated musical? I think Hairspray. I don't know if this is just my opinion on it, but I feel like it's quite an underrated musical in my opinion. But it's a really good musical. I've been in it twice. The first time, I was a nameless character that wore a colourful t-shirt and had my hair in curls. Remember what I said about curls? Yeah, they dropped the second I walked on stage. But yeah, Hairspray, I was in it. And the second time I was in it, I played Little Inez, which was awesome. I think I've got a picture of it, but I don't know if I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna find it. I'm sorry, I get so distracted. I'm so stupid. Ugh. There. Focus. You probably can't see it very well. There we go, there we go. That's me with a beehive in my hair. A freaking beehive. it would take my mum an hour every night to get my hair to look like that. But yeah, it was all worth it because my secret was hair mousse, because hairspray didn't work on my hair. But anyway, definitely a very underrated musical, in my opinion. Most overrated musical. Now, I know this might cause some arguments with some people, but in my opinion, I think Grease is a very overrated musical. Everyone says, it's great, it's wonderful. Did I even Oh, no, sorry. I thought I wasn't recording for 1 second. That scared me. Anyway, I think Grease is really overrated, in my opinion, because I just don't like the story too much. The singing and dancing, fine. Costumes, beautiful. 50s theme, I get it. It's lovely. But I don't like the fact that Sandy changes herself and then Danny goes, oh my, I want to be with you again. You're so kind and lovely and you're really cool now. Do you want to get back together? And she just goes with it and she's like, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend again. I'll be your girlfriend. So basically, the moral of the story is, if you're being a goody two-shoes, then change yourself completely to get the guy. I just don't like it. I hate... Ugh. And my mum completely agrees with me on this. It's just... it's not very empowering, in my opinion. It's just a bit... change yourself completely and suddenly you'll get the man of your dreams. Okay. What musical made you cry? Les Mis, every single time. Always makes me cry. Even when I watch the movie. Even when I'm in it, I cry. I cried when I was Little Cosette, and I cried when I was Madame Thénardier. I probably haven't talked about that, but I was also Madame Thénardier, and I was crying in the final scene, on the final night. Like, my makeup and everything. I'd been wearing the weird makeup from the scene where they get into the wedding, so it looked even worse, and I was a complete mess. But yeah, the only musical to ever proper tears, always tears. What musical made you laugh? Many musicals have made me laugh before, but I think probably say no. This is a hard one because lots of musicals make me laugh, even when they're not supposed to. Or when someone's trying to be serious and everything goes wrong, and that's just the funniest thing ever for me. I have to come back to Hairspray again, because Hairspray is just, as well as it having some really good messages in it, it's also really funny. Like, John Travolta in that get-up and stuff, just, oh my goodness, laughs every time he walked on stage. Are there any musicals you saw and hated? Again, it's kind of going back to when I first saw it, I thought it was really cool, and I was like, this is a really nice musical and stuff. This is really cool. And then when I watched it later as a teenager, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. It's not that the musical's terrible. The music's great. The singing's great. Sorry, I had to think about that one. But I come back to that thing about changing your entire personality just to get the guy. This video's going on forever. I hope these questions end soon. Oh, no, there is an end. Okay. What musical do you want to see as a film? Now, this is a little bit of a weird one, but it's a very obscure musical because it's fairly new, I think, and it's one that I don't think anyone's really heard of. But it's the score and all the songs were written by Jason Bourne from Busted. If you know who he is, then thank you. Busted was pretty cool. And it's called Out There, and it's fairly new because I've only ever seen on YouTube one other company doing this, and it was my third show with the society I'm with at the minute, the youth group thing, and it was really cool. it was a really good family-friendly story, and I really hope it gets turned into a movie one day by someone who sees it and goes, hey, this would make a really good movie. And if you've never heard of it, please do look it up, because it is really good, feel-good musical. Which musicals are you dying to see? No question. I want to see Wicked on the West End because Wicked. I want to see Mary Poppins on the West End, obviously. I definitely want to see Matilda the musical, because that was a really good musical, and I've done some numbers from that show once. In my second show with the society, we did When I Grow Up, and we were all in uniform and we were all on scooters. It was really fun, and there are just so many musicals I really want to see when I have the money, when I have the time, and when I have the life, because at the minute, when you're a student, you have no time to do anything. Yeah. I'll see if I can wrap this up quick, because like I'm looking at the time and it's, yeah. Any movie or book you think should be turned into a musical? This is weird, because like lots of movies I've watched have been musicals, but a few years ago I would have said Addams Family, but it's already been done now, so sorry. I'd probably say this is a tough one because I've read quite a few books and things, but I think what would make a really good musical, I'm going from a book perspective because I'm not going from movies, because movies, nah dude, nah. I think it would be cool if Hetty Feather was turned into a musical. If you've no idea what Hetty Feather is, where have you been? Have you been living under a rock or something? But Hetty Feather was a trilogy. Yeah, it was a trilogy of books penned by a girl who grew up in Victorian times, and I think it would be awesome if it became a musical, because it's such an amazing story about a girl who goes through the hardships of having a mother who had to leave her at this place called the hospital or something. I don't have the original book because I lent it to someone and they never gave it back, but it was just, I think it would really make a really good musical. Okay, I'm going to try and wrap this up. Oh, one question left. That's good. What is your all-time favourite musical? Les Miserables. Obviously, because I have talked about it so much in this video. I just love Les Mis so much. Like, I love the songs, I love the characters, I love the story, I love everything about it. I've played it from a backseat role and I've played it from a leading role, and I just, it means such a much. I can't even English today. It just means so much to me because it kind of changed my life completely. It was the first show I ever did in my youth group, and it was the first big role I ever had in a school show. And Les Mis, hands down, favourite musical of all time. Okay, so I think I've spent enough time talking to you about musicals, so I'm going to turn off the camera and get to editing this video because it's going to take me a while, I think. I don't know, my computer's being really slow at the minute because we had this big internet shutdown at our school, and it's been affecting all the computers that came from the school, so internet's just been a big monster for me over the last few days. Like, they had to rebuild the entire system. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now, and I will see you all next time. I don't know what I'm gonna do next time, but we'll wait and see.